Albert was primarily a goods engine, with a fearsome reputation on the mid-Sodor, and a tendency to be very difficult. His crew often felt the brunt of his temper, and he used to bully them relentlessly. "Remember to clean it out properly this time," he barked. "I've been choked full of soot and ash all day thanks to your negligence." Duke didn't take kindly to Albert's attitude, and was one of the few engines on the line who would stand up to him. "You really have no respect for your crew whatsoever, do you?" "Who would?" Albert grimaced. "When they can't clean your tubes properly at the end of a day's work, what respect are they due?"
"Engines should work with their crews,"
Duke said firmly.
"Your poor attitude will come back and haunt you one day."
"I know better. Always have done." Duke said no more. Albert was never one to listen to reason, and he remained steadfast in his belief that he knew better than anyone else, and that included the manager. But there did come a day when Albert would find his ways weren't always the best. It was his last run of the day, and, as usual, he was in a hurry to get back to the sheds. He bustled about the quarry, shunting the trucks fiercely, and bumping them forcefully around the yard, much to the annoyance of the foreman. "Be careful, you silly engine! Bumping them like that and they're liable to break!" But Albert took no notice of him. "They're dispensable! Horrible, rickety old things! They're not worth the materials they're built with!" "Well, as long as they carry the materials to the port, then I don't care what you think of them. Now, less of this nonsense and behave yourself." Albert continued to marshal the trucks around the yard, and without much further mishap, he brought them down to the junction to wait for Duke to pass with the picnic. Albert felt crosser still at having to wait. "He's taking liberties again. He's late." "Calm down," said his driver. "He's probably been held up with sheep or something." "I should take priority myself and run on anyway. Knowing him, we'd probably clear the section before he even gets here." Duke hurried through, trying to make up for lost time. And soon after, Albert was allowed to start off again. He hurried along the line, intent upon getting back to the yards for what he believed to be a well-earned rest. But his hopes for a clear run through were dashed when his crew began to slow him down at the next station. "Driver, why are we stopping?" "Your tanks are running low," said the fireman. "We need more water to keep going." "Never mind the water. We've wasted enough time, thanks to Duke, so we'll carry on regardless." The driver and fireman tried to reason with him, but Albert refused to listen. At the station, they tried to brake, but Albert deliberately used the weight of the trucks to keep on rolling and overshot the water tower. They tried in vain to go back, but the weight of the trucks and Albert's lack of cooperation didn't make for easy work. "It's no good," said the driver at last. "We'll have to try further down." This was the opportunity the trucks had been waiting for. They were tired of being bumped and banged about by Albert, and decided now was the time to pay him out. Duke had arrived safely at the port and had made up sufficient time. Albert shouldn't have been too far behind with his goods, but tonight there was no sign of him. Duke was anxious.
For all his faults, he's very punctual. I wonder what's wrong.
They soon found out. Albert's fireman came plodding down the line with urgent news for the station master. "Albert's overheated. He wouldn't stop for water at the work station, and now he's stuck further up. We'll need Duke to come help shift him." Without delay, Duke hurried off up the line to the point where Albert was standing. The driver had thrown the fire out and was now doing all he could to cool him down.
I think it might have been better to listen to your crew for once. Just wait until the manager finds out. He won't be pleased.
"It was the wretched trucks," Albert wheezed pathetically. "They held back, and they made things worse than they should have been. We could have managed." "You would have managed with more water in the tank," said the fireman firmly. "Then we wouldn't have struggled when the trucks began to play up." The driver could only agree with them. "I can only hope you've learned your lesson after this." But the lesson had come too late for Albert. "You were always a troublesome sort of engine," the manager said firmly, "and the damage you've caused to yourself won't be easy to repair either. The inspector says your firebox crown has melted as a result of your foolishness." "I apologise, sir," said Albert meekly. "I promise it won't happen again." "Indeed it will not, for we will not be mending you. At least this way other engines on this railway will learn that a little respect goes a long way. You can be taken apart and used for spares for the others. Good day to you." Albert was put to the back of the shed and taken to bits over time. Duke and the others often felt guilty about accepting his spares, but they also knew that Manager was right in his decision.
It's a pity,
Duke often thought when he recalled Albert.
He did learn his lesson. Just a shame it was too late.